So I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 recently, and a thought struck me. Is it possible to play the entirety of this game solo? No friends, no companions, nothing. And today, I'm going to start seeing if that's possible. So the first most important part of this challenge is which class I pick. Because if I picked one of the support classes, like a wizard or something that needs a frontline tank to eat up damage, it's not going to go well. I'm just not going to get far. So my first thought was, I need to pick a class that's kind of tanky and has some healing, which led me to think the cleric. But I decided to get a second opinion here. I decided to call up me and my friend group's game master, actually. And I asked him the exact same question: what class do you think would be best for surviving on my own in this game? And he actually had a very interesting answer that I think I agree with. He said I should go with the rogue, because the goal is not going to be able to eat up damage and take hits, it's going to be not to get hit at all. So I'm going to play the rogue, actually, and try to stealth this. Another important part of this is which race I was going to pick. The rogue's pretty set in place because I can be sneaky, but I also wanted to pick a race to build on that to allow me to be even more sneaky. I ended up deciding to go with the elf, because they're fairly sneaky, and also if you pick the high elf, you get the cantrip of Firebolt, and that'll help me output a little bit more damage at early levels. I decided to go through and change my stats around a little bit than just the standard given for the rogue, because I wanted a little bit more charisma. Dexterity was already set at 17, but I feel like a little bit more charisma is going to help me talk my way out of situations rather than fighting my way out of situations, because there's only one of me, so a fight is just probably going to end badly. So if I can talk my way out, much better result. Now, a much less important part of character creation, but still absolutely vital to this playthrough here, was my appearance. I went with this guy. I made this combination that make him look kind of just like a guy named Frank. I don't know, this is just what I wound up with, so I named him Sneaky Frank. So here you go, here's Sneaky Frank. Like, it's time to get onto that Mind Flayer ship and see what we can do. So, starting off this in absolutely the only way possible, we start off with a hilarious visual bug. Yep, there he is. That's our boy, Sneaky Frank, sticking straight vertical out of the Mind Flayer pod. This is going to be a fantastic playthrough, oh my god. Anyways, getting on with the actual game here, I'm going to not touch the egg in the middle that explodes, because it explodes. But I am going to loot all the corpses around, because I am a little bit of a loot goblin, so I'm going to steal literally everything. Which will actually probably be another important facet of this playthrough. I am going to need as many consumables as I can get. Since I'm going to be running into things that are meant to be a party of 4, I'm going to need to output the damage of like 4 people. So I'm going to be going through a lot of potions, like one-time use spell scrolls and whatnot, so I'm going to need everything I can get. So actually getting into it here, I can't have any allies, which means I can't go up this elevator here and get the creepy little brain thing. Thinking back now, I probably should have gone up and got the items up there and just skipped the brain, but I gotta stay away from the brain, and I'm very okay staying with the brain, because that scene was a little disgusting. Incredibly well made, but a little bit disgusting. So when I ran into Lae'zel here, next to the dragons and the fire and everything, and she tried to kill me, I realized that in her chat options, there's actually none to tell her to get lost, so I gotta stick with her for a little bit. But first moment I can, getting rid of her, going solo. So first fight I got into here was taking down these 3 imps right at the beginning. I don't really foresee any problems being solo, even though Lae'zel's here for now, on the tutorial here. I think the real problems are going to get into once I land on that starting beach. So the next issue I had to deal with here is not really an issue, more so my supposed-to-be companion, Shadowheart, who's locked in a pod here. I had to, of course, stop by and say hi, at least, to let her know, you know, I'm taking this solo, I'm going to leave you alone here, enjoy the fiery crash, goodbye. So I stopped by, slapped the pod once, and then moved on to the next area. Now here's where things are going to get real interesting. I gotta take over the bridge here. This one might be a little more interesting solo, because there's a few more enemies to fight. I was able to end up fighting my way through the monsters that are in the way to get to the weird tentacle steering wheel type deal, whatever you want to call that. A council, maybe? I don't know, it's got tentacles, I'm a little afraid. But this one was a little harder. This might start getting interesting pretty quick here. So I woke up on the beach after my little brain worm saved me from falling to my death, and surprise, surprise, no Shadowheart here at the beginning, because, you know, left her in her pod to die, so makes sense why she's not chilling here. I just kind of moved along the beach, you know, looting corpses and whatnot, and very much to my surprise, Shadowheart is actually very much alive, and not happy, very not happy with me from leaving her on the ship to die. But that's okay, because I'm playing this game without any companions, so you know what? Don't eat her anyways. Next up, I ran into that part in the ship where you got the little brain guys to fight, and considering that it's just me, and they're much stronger than me, I'm gonna have to stealth this one. Luckily, I got up above on this little platform here, and they didn't notice me, so I could do some surprise shots on them, and I took them out pretty quickly. I actually ended up getting really, really lucky, and this one little brain didn't really know what to do, so it just sat right under me on the platform, and I could just kind of bop it with fireballs till it just, you know, went away. So the next important step to this was telling Asterion to get lost, so went up to the hill, found him. He promptly wrestled me to the ground and held a knife to my neck, but you know, things like that happen sometimes when you're trying to tell people to get lost. So we worked it out, we talked a little bit, and I was like, nah, I don't need more friends. Just make your own way along, go find something else to do. So next I ran into that mind flayer that's kind of dying on the ship, and at first I just left it to die, but then I was like, wait, that thing has items, I need those items. So I promptly killed it with a fireball and stole all its loot. So next up on my list of telling my companions to get lost, Gale, the man in the rock. Went up, thought this chat option that said rogue, sleight of hand, sabotage the sigil would sabotage it to keep him in there. No, it sabotaged him and got him free. So I had to talk nice to them for a little bit, and then I again told them to get lost. So next up on the list, Lae'zel, found her in her cage up here talking to the tieflings. Told the tieflings she was dangerous, they should leave. They left. And what do you know? I just left her up in the cage and walked away. Sorry, Lae'zel, I gotta go. I got things to do. So that's that. Starting campaign is taken care of. It's time to really get in this game. I'm going solo. Everyone else is gone. I started by going up to the little castle church thing and trying to scare off the barbarians. Or whatever you want to call them. Thieves, something. But did not go well. Failed that check, and they all decided to fight me. So I decided my best bet was to not stand directly in the middle of everyone. So I kind of went back up this little balcony here to try to take out their archer. Got a couple hits in, didn't go great, but kind of started running away, and I really was not making any progress in this fight. I was literally just running. I was spending all my time running. So I just reloaded and decided, hey, you know what, let's try this again. Let's try this with a new, fresh idea. So the new plan here was kind of just dash away right at the beginning, so I was never in that, like, stuck in combat range where I had to disengage all the time, keep spending my action on that. So this got me a little further away, and I was kind of taking pot shots at the fighter guy here, and I managed to take him out. So next up, I said, instead of going straight back trying to fight those other guys, I was going to go back to that door I found Shadowheart at, because I found some thieves' tools. I'm going to try to unlock that this time. I was luckily able to do it successfully. Luckily, I was able to get in and open up that sarcophagus, so I got the fancy spear that was in there, and the random key, too. So I went over to the crypt area, and where you try to unlock withers, and I was about to do it, but then I realized I'm probably not going to be able to fight off all these skeletons guards that spawn, because I'm only level 2, there's only one of me. But then it also hit me, do I even need withers? I don't have any companions, there's no one to be reviving, so I just decided to leave him there. I was tempted to just move on to the next area without even dealing with anyone that's in the church and all the thieves, I guess you call them, whatever. But I want blood, so I'm going back, I'm going to try to take them out. I started off with doing a sneak attack on the archer here. It took me 2 shots to take him out, but made quick work of him and moved on to the fighter that was chasing me. I pulled off the exact same thing I did the last fighter, and just kept dashing away so he could never catch up to me, and just throwing fireballs at him, so worked pretty well. The last one to take out up here was the mage. I snuck back, stealthed in, took a stealth shot at her, took her out no problem. And then when I went to go loot her, promptly fell in the hole in the middle. Didn't realize I could break if you just walked over it. But yeah, I didn't stand a chance down there. I blew up the firebomb, I took out one of them, but there was too many. I was done for. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you like watching me try to play this game solo, please leave a like down below, and maybe consider subscribing if you want to stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.